Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everybody. How's it going? That's good. Let's see here. We're going to be starting soon. Isn't that nice? Yes, it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. I don't know what's going on. It sounds like there's people shouting outside. So that's fun. Hello. How's it going? Nicky Jam. Hello, hello. No screen. What? There's no screen? Oh. Let me know if there's a screen now. Oh, wait, you're here. Hello, I'm here. I need to turn this like so because I need to do some stuff. So, if you're a fan of weird stuff, and apparently Jim Cornette, hi. No, but like, yeah. Last night, I was. Oh, am I sitting on my phone? I was playing some Gracie Abrams. We were having a Gracie Abrams jam party last night. And apparently, I play Gracie Abrams songs very slow. I'm a very slow Gracie Abrams player. Huh. Yeah. What was the song called?
Well, it's a really fast song. You were great. It was That's So True.
That's so true. That's exactly what it is. I'm very slow. That's so true.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it's a very fast song. But yeah, the whole time that I've ever heard that song, for whatever reason, I thought it was called You're an Idiot. That's what I thought the name of that song was. I had no idea it had a different name. So when I was looking it up, I'm typing in You're an Idiot chords, and nothing was happening. I know the name, but not the song. uh, I listen to her a lot, though. Yeah, it's the fun one that goes, You're an idiot. Yeah, but anyway. So that's what's going on with that. Just jamming on some Gracie. But today, let's see. No, I feel old and uncool. You should. You really should. You have a hip young person in your household who probably sings that song to you all the time. And let's see, my deterioration is complete. Yeah, that did it. Like you keep thinking you got it, and then you don't know the name of a Gracie Abrams song, and that proves that you're old and uncool. So it happens to the best of us. It happened to me. Oh, and the worst part is when Google is telling you you're old and uncool because you don't know the name of a song. Oh, that's embarrassing. Pretty soon, AI is going to be able to not only show that you're old and uncool, but also be kind of shitty and condescending about it when letting you know that you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about. To be fair, she calls me much worse than an idiot. Yeah, yeah. That's not nice. That's not nice at all. So anyway, I signed the contract right before we started this stream for the poem that is going to be in, I guess, the next issue of Literary Matters. Yes, my poem Cherry Blossoms got accepted. And yeah, so you will be able to read that shortly. Another thing we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about some of the poems in my chapbook Los Angeles, because we are heading back to Los Angeles, folks, here very, very shortly. So I think it is apropos to talk about those. I was going to do something today where I went over, like, showing you guys some Instagram pages of artists that I just absolutely love. If you've been following me on Instagram, you will notice, but you will have seen that I have been posting or reposting stuff that I really dig and am into and everything like that. But there's quite a few artists. Yes, please do that. Okay, well, it's in all caps, so I guess I have to. So maybe I could figure. Yeah, no, I could figure that out while we're doing this. I'm loving the shares on stories. Yeah, like there's some artists that are so fucking cool that it's really inspiring. But here's the thing. And I'm sure a lot of people go through this, but I think what I'm going through is a little bit different. I hear people all the time talk about how they get annoyed at artists, or not artists, but like they go on Instagram for inspiration and they see all this stuff and then they're just like, oh, I suck. I can't do this. Like, these people are so good. Like, and then they just get all upset and then they end up not doing anything. The thing I'm having, I guess, is I'm looking at artist stuff and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't do that. So what can I do? And then I start like thinking about the stuff that I'm planning on doing shortly here. And I'm like, okay, they're doing something that's kind of like this, but I need to be different. Because the thing is, and I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass, but I am a little afraid that this is something that might bite me in the ass. There are a lot of artists out there who the stuff they're doing, not that it's derivative, that's not what I'm trying to say, but there's a lot of stuff out there that people are doing stuff that are like an artist that I like. So there's a lot of people out there who do a lot of like Rothko influenced stuff or Franz Klein influenced stuff or like what's another example? Like, anyway, it doesn't matter. But like, and I see them doing it and I like what they're doing, but the only reason why I like what they're doing is because it reminds me of somebody else. And that is terrifying. Like, I don't ever want someone to be like, oh, I like that Matt Walls stuff because it looks like something Basquiat would have done or something like that. Like, I don't want anything like that. Like, so seeing what the people I like on Instagram are doing for me is good to try to see what I should not do, if that makes any sense. And I don't think it's keeping me from doing anything, but I am very much aware that that's a possibility, that looking at what other people are doing may make me not want to do anything because instead of doing the thing, I'm now thinking about doing the thing instead of doing the thing. And that's one of the things I hate more than anything, as you know. So, right off the bat, like, I could think of like 4 people, 5 people that I really, really love what they're doing and should probably show you. So maybe we can do that here in a little bit. I wonder if I should show you guys that now, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get around to making that video. Should I do that? Fuck it, we're going to do that. I'm going to go over a little thing that I was going to do a video about, and I'm still going to do the video. But let me see. I've been saving art on IG that catches my eye as kind of research. I'm trying to figure out what kind of modern abstract art I'm drawn to. I've never explored it before. Well, let me help you right now. I'm going to help you right now. I'm going to show you a couple books right off the bat that if you don't have, you should probably get. Because I guarantee you everyone you're looking at Instagram is influenced by one or more of these people. So hang on. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And ooh, I do like this. I'm going to bring this book anyway. And then we're going to bring this. Okay, so I was going to get one book and I brought this many. I have no art books. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, we'll wait on the Rothko talk. Okay, so these books from Taschen. Oh wait, I have a cute little note from somebody right here. Don't want you guys to see that. So like these little books, the white bound hardcover books, these are usually $20 or under. Was that my phone? Oh my gosh. We have so much to talk about. So we'll talk about that. We will talk about that. Okay, so abstract expressionism. This book is great. There's another one. I should go get that one too. Shit. Okay, hang on a second. There's one more book. Don't you love to be? Tell me where. Okay. So this book, Abstract Art and Abstract Expressionism from Taschen Books. You can get these books for probably like $5 to $6. Like if you look online. These are supposed to be kind of like introductory books on different forms of art and different artists. They have a ton. And if you are lucky enough, since you live, not that you live in London, but you live close to it, I bet you there is a Taschen store in London. And there is nothing more, I don't want to say exciting, but going into a Taschen store, I can't see the book details. I don't know what you mean. Okay, so anyway, Taschen. Wait, here we go. You can get these books anywhere. You could get them online. Like any book retailer has these. The white, like you could go into any bookstore, but if you find them online, they're usually in between like $5 to $7. So, abstract art is basically going to talk about everything that happened probably 1909 to 1913 up until World War II. And this is like worldwide stuff. So we're going to talk about like um, Kandinsky, Delaney. Let me show you how the books like break down a little bit here. Oh, this actually does go into World War, but like it'll shows you like the beginning. So we have like Turner and Monet with the haystacks, Cezanne and Picasso. And then it goes into, so it has your little introduction. Oh, Malvich. Okay, get out of this introduction and get into this. So it'll have like each page will be like one artist. So this is like Picasso about Cubism, and then it'll probably go into Baroque as well. But you have like Kandinsky doing his stuff here, and so this gives you Delaney, and this gives you a really good introduction into abstract art. Abstract expressionism is going to be just about the New York school that came out of World War II and when like America became the focal point for art in the world instead of it coming out of like Paris. And this book doesn't get into it, but the CIA basically paid artists, it paid galleries, it paid magazines, and even funded exhibitions for American art to go into Europe to prove that like America's great. Look at us. We're not only better than fascism and communism, but this Jackson Pollock guy could throw some paint pretty good, right? So it's really kind of silly at that point. But the thing with this book is it goes into a little bit of the history that the abstract art book went into. But it goes more into the, oh, and here's Peggy Guggenheim chilling in her gallery. Because she basically made abstract expressionism something that anyone would give two shits about. There's Jackson Pollock and his wife Lee Krasner hanging out in his barn. But yeah, so this is going to go through like everybody, like Clifford Still, Newman. Let's see what else do we got here. But yeah, like looking at all of these, this is when like abstract expressionism was like formed, obviously, but everyone was doing something different. So you have this to this, and each one of these pages is a different artist. Okay. Frankenthaler, like with her staining giant canvases and just using like a sponge to paint instead of like a paintbrush. Ashel Gorky doing stuff. Let's see, who else we got here? Oh my gosh. Adolf Gottlieb. I fucking love that. And it LACMA they have, and I showed it to you when I was doing those walkthroughs of the museums, but you look it up. There's a painting called Totem that is so fucking cool. And if you get like, I don't know if you could see it in pictures, but like it just sparkles when you look at it. It's fucking crazy. But Guston, I think this one is at LACMA. Is it? No, that one's at San Francisco. But there's one that looks almost exactly like this at LACMA. But like he was into like trying to paint things that looked like he was seeing it underwater. Like what would it look like if it like I was underwater looking out, or I'm above the water looking into like water? What would this thing look like that I'm painting? Hans Hoffman. Hans Hoffman actually taught and wrote a lot of uh, work on color theory. If you're interested in that, I'm not a huge fan of his, but he knew what the fuck he was talking about as far as color. And here's another one. It was the cover of the book. But like Franz Klein, this is one of my favorites. He did all of these crazy black and white paintings where, and when you hear this, this is going to sound stupid, but a lot of people, when they would paint black and white before Franz Klein, would just take like a white canvas or white paper and then paint black on it. And he started doing a thing where he would paint black on a canvas, but then he would paint white over that, and then paint black over that, and then paint white over that. So it's just layers and layers and layers of him going back and forth doing stuff. And how he started doing this, he had a projector like put an image up on a wall that he wanted to paint. And I can't remember what the first one was. I think it was a chair. And so he basically just painted the like shadow of a chair. And that like was the one thing that just like triggered him. And for the next like 12 years, he just was painting these big, giant, ridiculous black and white things. And then he started adding color into them. I'm not a huge fan of the color he added into them. I don't know. I'm not big on that, but I've seen artists have started scraping back into the white canvas. I guess techniques had come back around like trends too. Yeah, and the scraping back started with de Kooning, who will probably next page. So yeah, William de Kooning, this guy that looks like a weird like Ken doll kind of thing. He would do this stuff where he would like put a ridiculous amount of paint, all different colors, all different stuff onto a canvas, then paint over that canvas, and then he would just start attacking the canvas with like a palette knife and trying to rip everything away and go layer after layer after layer after layer, putting stuff on, taking stuff off. Would use like turpentine rags to wipe a lot of the stuff out. He also did a lot of cool shit with mixing mediums, which I'm very much into. That I want to, like the next series I'm doing, I really want to get into more. Where, like all the painters back then were putting egg yolk in their paint to give it like a more matte finish, and then would put like more linseed oil and like Damar varnish in the paint to make parts of the paint shiny and shit like that. But he would put water in with oil paint and turpentine and mix that up so the paint would be kind of like chunky, like vomit like, because like the water and the oil don't react well together and they want to like attack each other, and he dug that. But he was a very violent painter, like a lot of action painting and gestural painting. Like, not that he originated it, but he was probably the first one to get very famous, I guess, from being like super aggressive with his canvases. He was actually probably like lived the most wild life of all the New York Expressionism painters, but he actually lived the longest. Like he was, I think he died in the 90s. Like he stuck around, and For those of you who don't know the history of Abex and all that shit, pop art, like Andy Warhol killed these people. And once pop art became really popular, and all of these people got pushed to the wayside, a lot of them ended up kind of losing not only like credibility and all that other shit, but their lives. Like they devolved into alcoholism because you were like on top of the world, the most famous painters ever, and then somebody who did a silk screen of a soup can is now considered art, and you're passe. And de Kooning lived through all of that, and then had everyone assumed he was dead. And then in the 80s, when museums or whatever were just going, hey, remember that abstract expressionism shit everyone was into? Let's see who's still around. And de Kooning was still around doing these completely different types of paintings than he did earlier in his career. So he ended up having like a second career in his old age, which was actually kind of amazing. But yeah, so this is something like his women series is something that he's de Kooning's much more known for. But as for me, like I like the things that he came up with painting. Yeah, exactly, a resurrection. He looks like Homelander from The Boys. Yeah, he's like a very kind of GQ. And honestly, I know this isn't the right thing to say, but in any form of entertainment, even art and all this shit, if you look good standing next to a painting, I mean, fucking look at Instagram. If you are an artist and you look amazing standing next to a painting, you will be more successful than somebody who looks like they should be living under a bridge. You know what I'm saying? That was probably really fucked up and mean to say, but it's just aesthetics, you know? Oh. But anyway. But yeah, I don't really like his work as much as I like what he... Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but look at all of the gouging and scratching and scraping he did on his work. I don't know. Pretty cool. Lee Krasner. This was Jackson Pollock's wife. She did some pretty cool shit. And again, like with a lot of these painters, there are periods of their stuff. Like here's other Krasner stuff. This is more of her collage stuff. She would paint like 100 things on paper and not like any of them, and then cut them up and put them together as like a collage into like an abstract collage. Joan Mitchell was doing stuff like this. They have a piece of hers at LACMA too. Okay, Robert Motherwell. He actually is the husband of Helen Frankenthaler, but he did these elegies series. I don't know how many he did, but he did these black and white paintings that are just like kind of like a ball and a stripe and a ball and a stripe. And this was the first one, I think. No, this is number 34. Well, it's Elegy to the Spanish Republic. So this was in what year? 54. And he started doing these in 48. Like right there. And however elegies, or why he started doing these like this, there are still people today. I saw a guy on Instagram yesterday like doing this exact same thing. And his stuff's kind of cool. It's more color field, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Barnett Newman with the zips. He was a painter forever and just couldn't really catch a break. And then one day he did this thing. And is this One Mint? Yeah. I think is this the one? This might have been the one. He put this like tape in the middle of the painting so he could like paint two sides of the thing or whatever and not get paint on the other side. And he ended up liking it so much that he left the tape and the paint on the painting. And that was his big break. Like that was his breakthrough moment. So the rest of his life, he's painting these zips. And again, you will see people doing this exact thing. I like a lot of the color clashing, scrapey stuff. It seems, yeah, for the like the de Kooning and also the Mitchell too. Yeah. Oh, and this one, the Wild. This one, he decided to not even paint anything except the zip. This is just it's like a red pole. Like there's no canvas here other than this, like, what is the width of it? An inch and a half. That's it. But he did a series, and I think it's at the Tate. I'm not 100%, but I think it's at the Tate. It's the Stations of the Cross that are like black and white zip paintings that I think are his best work. Like I absolutely love them. But he did another one that he became famous for, and a lot of painters over the years have like memed the fuck out of this painting, but it's called Who's Afraid of Red, Yellow, and Blue? And I think it, like, I could be wrong, but I think it came out around the same time as Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. But it's this giant fucking red painting. It's like the size of probably this whole wall here. Not that you could see what the fuck I'm pointing at, but it's just this big giant fucking red rectangle that has like a blue stripe, a yellow stripe, and like different shades of red. But like I'm talking like maybe 3 out of like a 40-foot fucking painting. And if you have read Breakfast of Champions, okay, so I'm going to have to go back to London galleries, it seems. The hardship. Yeah, it must be really fucking hard for you, like, living near the Tate. Because, like, seriously, the Seagram murals that Rothko did are at the Tate. They have their own fucking room. And the fact that you can go sit there and just enjoy a ham sandwich makes me want to scream. So I'm just going to throw that out there to you because we're going to get to Rothko in a minute here. Oh, here's the station paintings. This is one of them. I absolutely love that. Look at that. Oh my God. Those are really fucking cool. That's First Station. Okay, so now we're going to get into Jackson Pollock. And Jackson Pollock, I don't like his pre-drip painting stuff. I just think they're messy and sloppy and muddy. And again, like, some people might get annoyed by that, but you know what? It's fine. And Full Fathom 5, I think, was his first drip painting that he, like, made. And this is where he gets, to me, really fucking interesting. Look at that. Just seeing how, like the light colors seem like they're, like, climbing out of the, like, the dark, solid, like, black. Like, the warm colors are closer, the darker colors are farther away. It just, oh my God. And when you see one of these close up and you can see every fucking little minute speck and then all the shit that ended up falling in the painting because he was painting these on the floor, it's really fucking cool. Lavender Mist is another one that he's known for. I really like Blue Poles. And that one is in a museum in Australia. I think it's in Sydney. And there was like a huge controversy because the taxpayers basically paid millions of dollars to have this painting in the museum, and a lot of the community like revolted over that. And see, when he was doing stuff like this, I'm just not interested. It's like, it's cool, I guess, but I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. Now, Ad Reinhardt. Oh, they don't even have any of this stuff. Oh, wait, yeah, they do. Okay, cool. So, Ad Reinhardt did this cool little sketch of what abstract expressionism is and like the tree that it hangs on. And that was actually kind of a funny little thing. But he did this thing, and here's his red wall painting, which is fine. I'm just moving on because this is something that inspires the fuck out of me. So this is abstract painting number 34. Now you look at that and it's just a black square and like very derivative black square, whatever. But if we look at it, he didn't actually use black at all on this and made different shade like colors. There's actually, what would that be, 9 squares in this square that are different colors. And the other thing that he did that I absolutely love, 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 love. Zap, what's up, man? How you doing? He would like make cans of paint, pour like turpentine in the paint, and try to get it to where all of the sheen and gloss came out of the paint, and it just became like as matte as possible, just like flat matte paint. And he would do these paintings like this. So one of the things I'm really into when it comes to stuff like, oh god, that is so cool. Like because when I'm looking at it like this, it still looks like a black square. But if I like lean the page up and let the light kind of hit it from behind, you can see. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it like that. Let me see if I can do this. Can you guys see that there's different squares in there that are like different like tones? You guys can see it. I can see it in there, so I'm sure you guys can see it. Anyway, so like people who do cool shit with the paint before they even paint, that's where I start getting like really geeked out. I'm like, oh my god, like what can I put in paint? What can I take away from paint before I even fucking do anything? That's when I start getting like wet in the mouth. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Rothko, which is long overdue. But so Rothko started, I mehe didn't start doing the multiform shit like this. He did a lot of other, what were those called back when they were doing that? Biomorphic paintings and stuff like that. But I don't like these. But I do like his process. So he is staining the canvas or the paper with oil paints. Very, very, very like thinned out, like thin oil paint with like turpentine, with mineral spirits, with whatever he could to make the paint like almost like a watercolor. And then he would just stain. So like he's doing the same kind of thing that like Frankenthaler's doing, but she's like staining the canvas with these like watered down paints and a sponge and this whole other thing. He's doing it in a different way, which is like really, really cool. But he doesn't hit it until he starts doing his color field paintings, the big rectangles that he becomes known for. And this is his classical period. And then he did this for, I would say, 20 years doing these things. This kind of shit, you are going to see every Tom, Dick, and Harry on Instagram doing something like this. And this is when it's like really cool. I mean, it's not that it's like, how do I say this? When I see people doing like designs that Rothko did, that's really cool because I like those. But when you see a Rothko in person, it feels like you got punched in the stomach. Like you feel like you got kicked in the fucking balls. And something happens to you. There is so much soul in it. There's so much, I don't know. It's very meditative, but you feel it. And when you see people doing the exact same thing as Rothko does, oh, sorry. Yeah, color field. Like you just like don't know because there's this one like artist on Instagram who does a lot of Rothko-ish shit, and they're small scale, but they look amazing. But I don't know if you're gonna have that feeling, and you can't tell a feeling when you are looking at something online. Like you lose. Like I've been seeing Picasso paintings my whole life because Picasso's like the most famous fucking artist in the world. Okay, blah blah blah. Picasso, Picasso, Picasso. Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? I go to a fucking Picasso exhibit and I'm fucking crying at the first fucking painting, and I'm in tears going through this whole fucking thing. Like I cannot stress enough how important it is to actually go and see these paintings in person and sit with them and like study the texture and just be like the artists who know how to transfer energy into their work. Those are the artists that stick around, that we hear about forever. And I'm not saying that there's not like unknown artists who don't know how to transfer energy into paintings, but you know it when you see it, and it's fucking insane. So anyway, there is like this one Rothko type painter on Instagram. I'll just throw the name out there. It's Kat Noonan, and I think they're out of Canada. And they make these really cool color field Rothko-y paintings. But I've never seen one in person, so I have no idea if it feels the same. Like, I don't think it can ever feel like a Rothko, because Rothko spent his entire life, like, he didn't like being known as a color field artist. He didn't like being known as a colorist. He didn't like any of this stuff. He wanted to, like, give you tragedy and emotion and some kind of transcendence from viewing his paintings. And like he didn't give a shit about what you thought it was or what anybody thought any of his paintings were, as long as you felt something when you were standing in front of it. So if you're in Texas, there's the Rothko Chapel. The Harvard murals, I think, are in Washington, D.C. Some of them are in D.C. and some of them are in Japan, at a museum in Japan. And then the Seagram's murals are in the Tate. I think all of them are in the Tate, or maybe those are the ones that are either in, like, some of them are in the Tate and some of them are in the that museum in Japan. I wouldn't want to try to copy Rothko. I think there's. Oh no, they're totally like if you're talking about on Instagram, there are tons of people who copy Frank Stella. Tons of people who copy Frank Stella. And it's okay to be inspired by something and paint something to learn from those people. Like that's fine. But when your whole career is being somebody who does something that somebody else did, it just I don't know. Like that's where I'm like, wow, you're right about Van Gogh's brushstrokes. Did we talk about Van Gogh or did you? Oh, wait, I missed a bunch of things up here. Okay, let me get back in the chat here. I got a little excited. I heard people talk about this type of neo-modernism. Jerry Saltz called it zombie formalism. A lot of that work was sold and then fell in value. I'm actually reading his book right now, not the short one about how to be an artist, because that book's amazing. But I'm reading what the fuck is it called? It's the one that has like 20 years of his criticism in it. And I like him talking about art way more than I like hearing his criticism, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I know like the zombie formalism. Yeah, totally, totally, totally. I wasn't expecting to find, and we're gonna just say Van Gogh. I wasn't expecting to find Van Gogh's work as moving as I did when I saw it in a gallery. To see the brush strokes was totally a different experience to a page of pixels, right? Totally, totally. There, I went to the Getty not too long ago, earlier this year, and oh, what was the fucking painting called? They had a whole exhibit, like a whole gallery room based on one of his paintings. And I know I did a video about it. So if you, I don't know, there's in my list, I'm sure there's a video about it, where they tried to, because Van Gogh, the paint that was being used at that time, for whatever reason, the colors didn't stay. I can't remember what was going on with paint during that period. But this was also around the time when paint was first being put in tubes. So it wasn't in a fucking pig's bladder. So you could like go out and fucking paint and shit or whatever. But anyway, all of his colors, for whatever reason, have deteriorated over the years. And I don't know how they found this out, but it was like this whole big fucking science experiment room showing you the actual painting and then a reproduction of what the painting looked like when Van Gogh painted it. It was actually really bizarre. But yeah, I don't know. We went on a total tangent there. So anyway, yeah, Rothko is the fucking goat. Like, there's a few paintings I've been in front of that made me feel anything, or like got emotional, but I've never been where I felt like I've been like physically assaulted. Oh, and here's the Rothko Chapel in Houston. Like there are these like giant, very purple based paintings. Oh, and then here is, okay, so some of the Seagram murals are in Japan. So, oh, you're not going to be able to see them. But those like super maroon and black ones that he, originally did for the Seagram Four Seasons restaurant, and then gave the money back because he was sick to his stomach, thinking that he made these paintings that were just going to be decoration in a restaurant for rich people. Blah, 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 blah. And then like Clifford Still. And if you're in Denver, there's the Still Museum that has almost all of his work. I don't think that's a very good representation of Clifford Still. Let me see. Is there another one in here? No. Mark Toby with the little squiggles. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So anyway, long story short, this was ridiculously a long book review. But yes, Nicky Jam. If you look up these Taschen books, they're super cheap. You could get them for pennies on the dollar, and they're amazing. Let me see. Just had a look online. The lead component in Van Gogh's paints, particularly yellow, deteriorated when they were exposed to light. Okay, that makes sense because the painting I'm thinking that it was the were they sunflowers or were they lilies? It was like a flower field kind of looking thing. I need to buy me some books for sure. Okay, so that one is definitely one you need to get. And then the other one is this Taschen book that's a bit chunkier, Modern Art. And it's the same theory, and it talks about where modern art came from, blah, blah, blah. But it has sections like on realism, on abstract expressionism, and we do the same thing. And one of my favorites of all time, Hans Hartung, is in here. Same kind of setup as the other one, pop art. And in fact, this book, the paperback cover of it, or the dust jacket of it, is the Andy Warhol Marilyn Monroe image. But this book, I think, was $25, and you could probably get it like dirt cheap too. So anyway, but yeah, total experience. The sunflowers in the vase were a lot more faded than I expected. Where did you see that? Was that at the Tate? Minimal art. But yeah, this book is amazing. Just make sure you have glasses because the print in that book is super small. So if you pick up modern art and the abstract expressionism book, I'm sure you will find plenty of people that you want to dig into their work a lot more. Because again, most of these people, I don't like all of their work. Like there's just like periods of each person's work that I'm really into. National Gallery, I think. I heard that sometime in the mid-50s, Rothko angrily broke with Clifford Still and Barnett Newman. I didn't know about Newman, but I did hear about Still. I'm trying to remember what that was about. Well, I know Rothko was not happy that he was being lumped in with abstract expressionism. I'm trying to remember his exact quote. It was kind of along the lines of, what was it? He just didn't like being lumped in with people. And once the pop art thing started happening, he was really pissed that the galleries that represented him were pandering to this non-art thing. And he broke away from almost, I think, all the galleries he was working with. And that's when I might be getting some of this wrong, but you could Google any of this shit probably. He ended up working with a group that started, I think it was a gallery originally, to sell his stuff overseas, but then they're the ones who they started the Mark Rothko Foundation with him. And it was kind of like a scam that his accountant was trying to like rip off a ton of money from him and all this other shit. And then it ended up being a legal battle that lasted into the 80s for his estate to try to get the rights back to his paintings. A real huge ordeal. There's even a conspiracy theory out there, and there's a documentary about it. It's a really shitty old documentary, but it's on YouTube, where they think that the Rothko Foundation basically had him killed. Like, we're trying to drive him to suicide and had him killed so the value of his paintings would go up. I don't know. It's kind of like this whole fucking thing. But Clifford Still's fucking crazy as shit. He, like, one of my favorite Clifford Still stories I ever heard was somebody, I can't remember exactly the story, but it's the punchline of the story that makes it interesting. Somebody had one of his paintings in their house, and for whatever reason that annoyed him or whatever. So he drove like states away. Like, this is like a fucking movie. Drives all these miles to this person's house with a knife, goes in the house, stabs the painting, and cuts it out of the fucking frame or canvas or the stretcher bars, and takes the painting and leaves because he couldn't fucking believe that. What, I can't even remember the story now. Now I feel like a dumbass. But yeah, so Still was fucking crazy. They're all fucking crazy. When you're sitting there sucking down that much fumes from oil paint and turpentine for that many years, like, you're bound to be a fucking whack job, dude. But Barnett Newman, I don't know. Um, Newman always seemed to me like a very chill fucking dude who was just, and I don't mean to be rude about Newman, but he always to me seemed like someone who was just happy to be invited along for the ride. Um, you heard a similar story about Rothko? Yeah. I don't know if I heard, like, did Rothko do? I've never heard, but I don't know fucking anything. I'm just like, um, I need to up my crazy. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, we're not chasing motherfuckers with knives. That's why. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I mean, Rothko is obviously like my favorite, but um, he's like my favorite in the sense that I will never be able to do what he does or what he did, but that's okay. Like, I just want to learn how, cuz like he didn't let people know, like he didn't let people around when he was painting. So his painting process and his practice is just people guessing at what he did, and then like conservators like trying to see like what kind of things were in the paint. So there's a lot of protein in the paint. So he did the egg thing, but everyone was doing the egg thing. So, but God, like seeing, and I know it's weird because when people see like, uh, a picture of a Rothko, you're like, oh, good job, dude. You fucking painted rectangles. Like, here's $80 million. But like, look at this, the size of these things. There's him standing in front of one of his paintings. They're fucking massive. And they just like envelop you. Let me see here. I really like that. There won't be any mystery around the people posting their process online these days. Well, yeah, like there's none. There are people who I'm like, ooh, I wonder how they do that. And then I'll see like a story on their Instagram where they show some of it. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know what else is crazy? I was reading about Francis Bacon. That motherfucker, yeah, he was a few fries short of a Happy Meal for sure. And apparently he hated abstract expressionism. He dismissed it as decorative, which is the worst possible until you give him totally, especially fucking Rothko, especially still. But here's the thing. If you don't see these things in person, I could see where someone would say that's decorative. And that's kind of like a big fear of mine. But here's the funny thing, too. Like, there have been galleries I've gone to see people's art. And I'm just like, oh, that's weird. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's neat. But then, like, I'll be at a hotel somewhere, like in a lobby at like mass produced hotel art. And I'm like, oh, I like that better than that gallery I went to. I was in a doctor's office in a waiting room last week and saw some interesting shit. It didn't move me, but it was more interesting than some of the shit I've seen at galleries. You know what I'm saying? Dude, why is my wife rummaging around the knife drawer saying Matt made me do it? That's not good. Oh, I would say whatever paintings you have in the house, you might want to hide them or stay away from them. Don't stand in front of the paintings if she's running around with that. But yeah, Francis Bacon, if you want to see some shit, like look up. I know there's been tons of interviews and documentaries about it, but look at his studio. Look at like Google like Francis Bacon studio documentary or something like that. Especially if you have any kind of OCD or you're like kind of a neat freak or anything like that, fucking watch Francis Bacon. I mean, Bacon was doing fucking insane shit. So, I don't know. I think as soon as you take form out of art and that becomes the thing that's popular, the people who are doing more figurative work are going to be really fucking pissed. But I don't know how anybody, because Andy Warhol gets a lot of shit, and I get it. Like if you were a professional artist at the time of Andy Warhol, you probably felt like blowing your brains out. But he was basically just doing what Duchamp was doing, like, what? Would that be 50 years earlier? That's fucking crazy. But you guys know what I'm saying. But if it wasn't for Duchamp and Warhol, like, we wouldn't have the art that we have today, and that could be a bad thing or a good thing. But like your fucking Jeff Koons, your Damien Hirst, fucking Mr. Brainwash, like you wouldn't have any of that shit if it wasn't for fucking if it wasn't for Warhol, but Warhol probably wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Duchamp. Francis Bacon is buried in St. Michael's Church in St. Albans near where I work. Oh my gosh. Was his studio a war zone? His studio wasn't so much a war zone as it looked like, um, I don't know, a back alley in a bad part of town next to a dumpster. Um, yeah, like he had to work in absolute chaos to feel comfortable. Um, I don't think Warhol would have been as massive as he was without culture shift going alongside of him. The factory was a large part of his reputation. Totally. Totally, totally, totally. And if you look at his like illustrations that he was doing before the factory, before all that shit, before um I mean the soup cans were before the factory. The soup cans were, I don't know. And like I understand why he did it. I think it was the mass production of the stuff that he was doing. Like I know people got mad at the soup cans, but I think people were more pissed off at the like capitalistic consumeristic nature of Warhol shit. Does it ever seem like people had these monumental ideas 50, 60, 70 years ago, and lately the acceptable art seems less innovative? I want to say yeah, but I think that we kind of broke art because after you have pop art, you go into like conceptual and minimalistic and land art and all of this stuff. And like, I'm a huge believer in um, anything can be art because anything we create is art if we are creating it through that lens. You know what I'm saying? But I know that some people take that and run with it to places where maybe someone like me saying that never intended. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't make it wrong. But I think in the last 50 years, I mean, probably the last 100 years, let's just do the last 100. Art changed more quickly than ever since the existence of art. But that could be said with anything, all technology. Like we have like moved forward as a society, as a civilization in the last 100 years quicker than any time before that. Like from the dawn of time to fucking 1905. Okay, more things have happened to technologically advance us as a society or a civilization in this short amount of time than all that time before. That's terrifying. So, yeah, but like, I mean, I don't know. Chris could throw some Ecclesiastes at us, right? Um, there's nothing new under the sun, guys. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, we hit that. I don't think he was as much an artist as a trendsetter. Yeah, totally. Like he was a fashionista. Yeah, because people don't think critically or deeply anymore. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I guess maybe it is. I mean, contemporary art, the art that art form accepts. Oh, okay. Wow. Now we're going after. Okay. You know what? Let's do. Do you want to do a thing? Do you want to do me going through art forum and talking shit? That's always been good for people's careers. It's helped me always. Let's do that. Let me see. There's less social commentary in art now. Okay, now here's what I'll say about that. The art you see on Instagram, I completely agree with that. The art you see in galleries in LA, not the galleries where I'm at now, but the galleries in LA, almost every show you go to in LA is socially aware and focused on the social conscious. So, like, yeah, that one, I think it's where you are, but like the galleries in LA, like, if it's almost like, oh, I mean, there was that one show I went to that was kind of dumb, but almost every other show that I've been to in LA has been like, if it's new art, it is just like making a statement of some kind against something. Um, we broke art. Yeah. Did Nikki say that or did I say that? Somebody quote somebody. I think that's why I got into art via photography, particularly documentary photography. Yeah, I could see that. I wish I could remember the name of this show. I did a video about it. It was probably back in March. There was this gallery that, and I think the name of the video was something like the most moving thing I've ever seen. Oh man, it was so amazing. And I can't remember the name of the artist, but Ethan knew who I was talking about and had seen some of her exhibitions. And it, as far as like new art that made me feel like I just wanted to cry and stuff like that, that did it. But it was more conceptual, visual art than um, anything like that. You don't write for Art Forum, do you? Oh fuck no, I don't write for Art Forum. No, but uh, this feels vaguely familiar. Yeah, I believe she was an Indian woman, and there was like this clackboard thing, and I can't remember what the things were saying, but that was really cool. And then there was this other thing where she had this. She went to like 100 people and had them draw an outline of what they thought the United States looked like in this book, and then had the book on a table and had an oscillating fan going by so it would just turn the pages. So you would just see all of the pages in this book of what people imagined America to look like. It was just like so weird. And then there was this like dark room. What the fuck was that? It was a dark room you go into, and there was a dim light, and there was like some like book in the middle of the room that you walk up to. And then there's like this there was a recording of someone reading what was in the book, and it was like spinning around you as you're like standing in front of I don't know, it was just, it was a really cool um exhibition, and I can't remember her name, but it was in March. Like, you could go back and find it. I'm sure I could find it too if I really wanted to. If I really wanted to, darling. Should I just look? Hey, what's your live stream about? I'm going to look through my videos and tell you what's next. Ooh, that looks like a good video to watch. Save that to watch later. Okay, where are my videos? I can't believe this is what I'm doing on a live stream. Let me see. What is Art Forum? Art Forum is, oh yeah, it's there's like I think three art magazines that are worth a damn, like what people consider worth a damn now, or anymore, and that's basically the big one. Um, I'm sure I could tell you more if I could remember. Uh, let's see. I am back in. Oh, that was terrifying. Is this it? Okay, no, but we're in the right area because that's the Jeffrey Deitch video. Oh, the LACMA video. So good. Okay. Oh, no, I need to go a bit farther back. Okay, so this is West Hollywood. I'm almost there, guys, I promise. What painting is that? Oh, yeah, I remember that painting now. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm really sorry, guys. Okay. LA Art Week. Okay, it's called the most moving thing the most moving thing I've seen so far. Um yeah, it's I don't know how to give you the thing. The snootiest of art critics. How do I share a link on my phone to this? I wonder if I could do this. Actually, do have a subscription, print and digital. Digital is really cool because you can read art form articles from. Oh my god, that's really cool. Do they do any like obituaries or like retrospectives of people once they pass and stuff like that? That might sound silly, but okay, I'm gonna try to share this. I'm gonna copy the link, and then you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna jump into this live stream and see if I could. Oh, I can't. Damn it. How do I do that? There has to be a way I could do that. What is happening right now, guys? Let's go to my channel. Where is my channel? Uh, this is so stupid. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, here we go. My channel. Oh, here we are. Okay. Oh, there's an ad. Let me paste this in here. Okay, I think that's the video. That was so stupid. I can't believe that's how long it took me to figure out how to fucking do that. Anyway, so yes, I just read the Rothko notice after he passed. It was in early 70. Yeah, I think that was 71. But so I wanted to do a video on this because I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And this was what I was talking to you guys about an hour ago. I can't believe I'm just now getting to it. Where is it? Oh, that's a different one. Is it? Or is that it? What year is this? 56. Okay, so that's a different one than what I was thinking of. So I think that's a different one, but we'll just go with this for right now. So this painting here, this Rothko painting, okay? I was reading this Rothko book, okay? Going through it, and I was looking at that, and I was looking at the little thing right here about the painting, and it's like violet stripe, 1956, oil on canvas, blah 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 blah, destroyed. And I was like, destroyed? because usually at the bottom of each little thing, it'll say like where this painting is. And this one is in Seoul, Korea at the art museum there. And then this one here on this page, it says destroyed. And I was like, what? And so I'm like, are there a bunch of destroyed Rothkos like out there? So I start like looking stuff up and doing my research. And not only are there destroyed Rothkos out there, but there are like giant catastrophes that have happened to Rothkos. In I think it was 1981 or 1983. I want to say 1981. There was a slashing at the San Francisco MoMA where someone went and attacked like 8 or 9 of, or maybe it was 5 or 6 of his paintings from like 49 to 50. Like right when he was going from the multi-forms into the classical color field. Then there was a hurricane that damaged some of his paintings that were in the South. And then I think it might have been the same thing with the Rothko Chapel. There was a leak during a hurricane and it damaged one of the paintings. Somebody at the Tate about 10 years ago or whatever went in and like tagged some shit on like one of my favorite paintings of his, like in the mural series. And then just recently, some kid, I think it was in Amsterdam or Norway, stumbled and fell into a Rothko at a museum and punctured it. But there's just like this giant list of all of these like horrific things that have happened to Rothko paintings. And I mean, he's not the first artist to have his stuff vandalized or attacked or whatever. I mean, fuck, Banksy even fucking destroyed one of his own works. Let me see. Yes, I just read Rothko. Oh, yeah, I read that. Who's old now, eh? Who's, damn it. Oh, yeah, the who's and the who's and the who's. You know what? Let me throw some other fucking shit at you guys. You guys are going to have a field day with this. Is it gala, or gala? What is it? Gala, gala. What is it? Say it. I bet you don't know now. I bet you don't know now. And because Zap's in America and Nicky Jam is in England, you guys are going to have different ways of saying it, I bet. I was just looking at the who's and who's yesterday. I read an article from Art News Magazine years that dealt with destroyed art and what to do with it. Dude, if you could send me that article, I would love to read that. Oh, years ago, I get you. There was a broken Jeff Koons dog in the article. Now, here's the thing. Like, I don't know how I feel about pieces of art that are like in a series, like a print. I don't know. That's just like, let me see. I give up. Garlar. Garlar? You're supposed to say Garlar? I don't know. Oh, and then as far as the anthology goes, just before I forget to say this, I did get the rest of the submissions, and I think it's closed now. So if you didn't submit for it, tough shit. Nikki, I want to use both of the poems you sent, so just allow me to do that.
Galler. Galler? That's not right. Clearly, I suck at phonetics. Galler. Galler? I'm trying to remember how many there are. Uh, Sindra, Bunny, Nikki, Mindy, Chasey, Adam, and me. I hope I didn't forget anyone. That's 7. Um, but there's a couple. Some people sent in a few pieces. Okay, cool. Oh, sorry. I don't think I still have it. Maybe it can be found online. The article focused on art where the owners were compensated by insurance companies. So, what to do with the art? Oh, dude, there is. Richard Serra. I don't know if this would fall under. If this would fall under this, but he had that big giant piece of metal in New York that was in the middle of a walkway area, and everybody hated it. And I don't know exactly how it was, but it's like if it's not there, it's not going to be anywhere because it was made specifically for that place. So it's just in like some storage locker, like by the harbor in New York, and like no one will ever see it now. Not that like Tilted Arc, is that what it's called? But like there was like a court case about it and everything. But is that something that he would have got insurance money for? Like, does that fall under a work being destroyed if a work is like being hidden from view? Art News was a fun little magazine. It was less in depth than Art Forum or even Art in America, but it's still a good mag. Yeah, so there was that. And then that made me just, I mean, this isn't even the same thing, but if you want to read about a really interesting court case, there is was it Whistler who sued an art critic? And so they went to court to determine like what is art. And I think it was my favorite Whistler painting, the Nocturne and gold and black or whatever. I think that's what it was. But I think Art News might be online. No more print editions. Zap, do you know what I'm talking about? The Whistler court case against the critic? I think it was Whistler. I'm almost positive it was Whistler. But anyway, so like one of the big things in the deal was do you want me to move?
Oh no.
Okay.
Do you mind handing me the speaker?
Oh, not at all. Here.
My bad.
Yeah, you're fine. What do you call it? Boom, boom. Whenever that speaker does that thing trying to connect to Bluetooth, it goes boom, boom. I hear in my head the mixed up version of Hot 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 by The Cure. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about and you have a JBL speaker, does it make you think of The Cure? No, I don't know about the Whistler story. Sounds interesting. Okay, so basically Nocturne in, let me try to find a picture of it. Nocturne in, I think it's black and gold is what the painting's called. Nocturne in black and gold. Boom. Okay. And Falling Rocket. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if this is a good picture of it. This is not a good picture of it, but this is like one of my favorite Whistler paintings. His nocturnes are fucking amazing, and to me, like one of the big precursors into abstraction. Anyway, he got like accused of just like art heresy for painting this thing and putting it in this show. And the big art critic at the time just like said horrible shit, and so he sued the art critic. They go to court. Yeah, it's fucking gorgeous. And he like defended himself, and he's like, I'm gonna go in there and show all these people what's what. And they're like, so how long did it take you to paint this painting? And he's like, probably a day, and then like another day to finish it up, like once I did the main stuff. And then the attorney's like, so a painting that only took you 2 days, you dare like call art and ask for 2 guineas or 200 guineas or whatever the like money was or whatever. And he's like, yeah, because it's not the 2 days that it took me to do it. It was the lifetime of me learning to figure out how to be able to do that in 2 days. And there was a gasp in the courtroom. There was like, and like everyone was like, I can't believe it. Like, oh my gosh, he totally schooled that fucking lawyer, like Perry Mason moment. And so at the end, he ended up winning the court case. But because Whistler was such like a pompous fucking dick about like proving the art critic wrong or however it worked out, the judge like awarded him like a farthing or a nickel or whatever. Like, you win this defamation lawsuit, but you're an asshole, so here's a nickel. But yeah, so like look that up. Like that's a great little thing, because it wasn't until I want to say the Armory show in the 20s that there was another court case about what is art and what isn't art. And it had to do with the... Oh, I've seen it. They have 2 of them at LACMA. The bird, the bronze bird. Oh, fuck. I'm going to have to look up that fucking painting now. And there's... Oh my God, I just saw it. This thing. Brancusi's Bird in Space. Okay? This thing here. And I don't remember exactly how the story goes, but when it was shipped over from Europe to America, there was different taxes or tariffs placed on it because the government or something didn't believe that it was art. And so they had to go like to court, and I can't remember the exact specifics of it. How did it go? But yeah, they didn't believe it was art, and so they had to have a court case to prove that bird in space was a piece of art and what constitutes art and all this shit. There's so many really cool like lawsuits about like what art is and who the fuck is the government for trying to tell anybody what constitutes art. Oh my God. And then we have the video nasties. Am I right? My folks in the UK. Holy shit. That was a fun conversation. Look at us go. Should probably change the name of this video to something a little bit more interesting. I just woke up late. I didn't get out of bed until 12:30 12:15 or 12:10. But it was weird. I looked at my phone and I could have sworn it said 10:15. And then I got up to go tinkle, and when I looked at my phone again, 2 hours had passed. That's not 100% true, but that's kind of how the story went. All right, guys. Let's get some coffee. Wow, that's super fun. This sounds like a new video series. It does, right? Like, all the time someone tried to tell you your art wasn't art. Starring the government. But, like, Picasso has a story like that. Like, we've talked about it before where, like, someone ran into him at a cafe and asked him to draw something on a napkin, and he drew something on a napkin and then asked her for $5,000, and she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you just did that. It took you like a minute. And he's like, yeah, but it took me my entire life to learn how to do that in a minute. Boom. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do, because I need to get rid of the first cup of coffee I had. How many people are we rocking right now? Okay, yeah, we got a couple people here still. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm gonna do. I am going to... Oh, this is what we'll do. This will be fun. As one of the top contemporary figure artists according to Artforum, he doesn't spend any longer than a day on a painting. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. We're my phone is crazy. What? Oh, is. Yeah, I get you. Okay. I'm very excited to hear more about this. Oh, Zap, we're having a conversation in about 2 seconds here. But I do have to get rid of this cup of coffee that I... Oh, this is one of my favorites on paper. Look at that. Oh, that cloud is just dreamy. Just want to lay on it and take a nap. Let me try to find a cool 2-page spread here. I think we're going to have to go back to that one. Oh, wait, nope. This one's really nice. Ooh, I do like those. Yeah, we'll do this one. This is fine. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out a way to... Oh, that's not going to work at all. That's not going to work at all. We're going to have to do this one. I don't think I like it as much, but this is what we're going to do. This is a horrible way to do this. I'm going to give you guys some culture for a hot minute. Okay? Have some culture. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I wish I had some music. Oh, you guys didn't get to hear my big boop. All right. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that bit of art. There's so much stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about. I was actually going to go have you guys kind of talk through some of the pieces that are going to be in my solo exhibition entitled Life Through Chaos. I should show you guys the room so you could see what I'm working with here if you haven't already seen it. I can't remember if I showed you guys the video of this or not. Does it get bigger if I do it like that? Okay, so this is the room that I'm gonna have, like, the gallery to have my show. And so what I was thinking was that this wall here, I was gonna have the Mad World series on it, and then these two walls here, like that little wall and then that wall, I would have the black sand paintings, and then this wall I would have the forest through the trees paintings. And then there's more. Actually, should I just show you the video? Let me see. Let me just turn the volume down on this. And I think I recorded this upright. So this is going to be annoying. Yep, I did. Okay, so yeah, that wall there would be like a different thing. So I mean, it's a big room. It's actually the biggest gallery in the HDA there. But I don't think I have enough room to do all the things I wanted to do. Cap. Oh, is that Keith? I can't see the little picture. What's going on? We've been talking all sorts of art stuff, man. Let me see. There's a lot of space. Yeah, that whole room is just my stuff. It's like going to be like Matt Wall, Life Through Chaos, and it's just my stuff in there. And I was talking to, who was I talking to? I'm trying to remember his YouTube name. He does videos too. Deep in the Reeds. We were talking about what to do with the show because I don't know. And I have like, originally I'm like, okay, these are the pieces I want to put in. And so I start adding it up and I'm like, there's 44 pieces I want to have in this show in one room. That's crazy. And then I'm like, wait, no, I want to do it like this. And I got up to like 82 and I'm like, this is stupid. I need to scale this whole thing down. So then I got it down to 36. But now, after talking to Deep in the Reeds, and he's like, your show's called Life Through Chaos. So why don't you just make the room chaotic and put up as much shit as you want and just like have it like all fucking over the place, you know? And I was like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Because I'm sitting here going, I have to have this painting here and then 2 feet to the next painting and then 2 feet to the next painting and then and I'm like, why am I trying to make this somebody else's art show? Why am I trying to make this what I expect someone else's show to be like, you know? And in the back of my head, I think it's because you hear people, I don't know if you follow, Zap probably does, Contemporary Art Issue, CAI, I think is what it's called. They're a channel on YouTube. If you don't follow them, like subscribe to them and watch the videos. They're really great. But it's very uppity and they say things in absolutes, which, as you guys know, I fucking hate when people use absolutes in art. And like the art world very much so uses absolutes in art until they don't. And that's been what art has always been. Like, you have to follow these rules, but then when you don't and the art world accepts it, it's now an innovation. And now this is the new rule and this is the new standard. So I'm going to get off my fucking high horse on that. But one of the things that they say, like when you're putting on a show, is make sure the walls are white and your paintings are spaced apart so it looks like a real show and not like a decorative like art fair, because it's really the look of a vanity gallery and a vanity artist, an inexperienced artist, to have a lot of your works all over the place. I get it. And I also understand from a sales point, when you have 30,000 things on a menu, it's hard for someone to decide what they want to order. Although, I mean, as opposed to someone walks into a space wanting something to eat, and the only thing they have to offer is a hamburger. And then they're like, well, fuck, I'm here and I'm hungry, so I guess I'm eating a fucking hamburger. Like, if you take people's choice away from them, they are more likely to buy. For instance, my website, let's see, are we still like hooked up there? Let's do a plug. My website, mattwallarts.com, that has all of my, not all of my art. I actually took a bunch of the art down from it. Because for this exact reason, yeah, they don't like the French salon look. Yes, exactly. That's exactly where I was going with that. Yeah, like it's not supposed to look like a pre-World War I art show in Russia or Gertrude Stein's gallery. They want everything to look very art forum. That's never going to get old. I see my magpie, and your magpie is coming soon. Yeah. So anyway, but what I'm saying, when I put less stuff up on my website, I sell more stuff. As opposed to when I put a bunch on the website and people are like just scrolling and like they don't know what to look at and they don't know what to do. They don't know what, like, because I was always under the impression, well, something will jump out at someone if they like it. Okay. But that's not necessarily true. Like if you just put a couple things on there, like people are more likely to buy the couple things. Just like when I was doing my chapbooks and I was only doing one a month, like where I would take all the other chapbooks away and this is the only chapbook you can get. I would sell more of these books when there weren't another book out there except this book. Do you know what I'm saying? And then like a couple months back, I don't remember exactly when, but I put all my books that I had left up on my website and my sales totally dipped. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to just put one book a month on the site and, hope for the best. So yeah, so that's really fucking cool. The art show. Keith, if you're still here, if that's who that was, I think that's Keith. What do you think of that? Like, how would you put that show together? Like, Zap, do you have any like ideas? And it's so funny because like the salon look, instead of like it being like the salon, they call it like a decorative art fair. And it's so artists have to remember that without us, the galleries don't exist. Museums wouldn't exist. Exactly. Exactly. It's kind of like that scarcity mindset. Yeah, scarcity, or like the FOMO. Like, take away too much choice and people find it easier to select a purchase. I would do like you had in the photo. Okay, so in the picture of the gallery, you mean, where they just had the one piece, like just like a hands width apart kind of thing? Because there's a part of me that's like, I could just go in there, with like my 6 big pieces and have this big giant room with just these big fucking pieces in there, and that's it. A big room that with 4 walls and 6 pieces. And like there's a part of me that like thinks, oh, that's fucking good. Especially my Mad Art one. I should go get it and show it to you guys. You guys have seen it. It's the one that I just spray painted on black poster board and then put a big gaudy frame on it and then painted the frame like black and hot pink, like the painting itself. I don't know. Like, not that that's never been done before, but that's a pretty big one. Sorry, my headphones are yelling low battery. Well, they better quiet down because you have a low battery. Like, they're going to take up way too much power doing that. But yeah, so I don't know what I want to do. Like, there's a part of me that wants to just like fill the place. And then on a kind of selfish note, because I'm moving, it would be really helpful if I could put all of my paintings in a show that's going to run a month long, so I don't have to move those when I'm moving all the other shit I have to move in a fucking moving truck 2.5 hours away, you know? So like there's like a practical part where I'm like, oh my God, I could put every single piece I have in this show and figure out how to fucking stack it in the walls. And then that way I don't have to move all that shit with like furniture and boxes and shit. And then in a month I could just go get what didn't sell, put that in a U-Haul truck and drive that home. That seems like a great idea. Is that me being like way too pragmatic about this? Help me, folks. Help me. Help me. Oh my God. I'm using my first solo show as an excuse to not have to move my paintings. Fuck me, dude. Yeah. Leave it to me to fucking make something fucking stupid out of something fucking cool. This has been a really good stream. I really have enjoyed the conversation we've been having, guys. I hope Chris is okay. I heard his wife was running around crazy with a knife. Don't look at that picture behind my shoulder, guys. It's kind of inappropriate. Okay. All right. But anyway, yeah, so do you guys have any other questions about anything before we wrap this up? I really miss doing videos and streams every day. So I need to start getting back onto that. Let me see. Do you have certain paintings that could go closer together than others? Well, yeah, based on the like different series that I have. So I have the Mad World series, which let me go into this thing here. So the Mad World bit, like, where is this? Yeah, so the Mad World ones are all the like swirl ones, and these aren't all of them. These are just the ones I have up on the site right now. And I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of paintings on paper. It's just going to be the canvases, with the exception of maybe the forest through the trees ones, and then like the black sand ones, like they all like go together. And I didn't know if I was gonna put the what do you call it, the attention series that I'm doing, that's based on cell phones, because the whole show is based on like understanding life through chaos, living through like madness and things falling apart. So like the Mad World series is definitely about that. The black sand paintings came from the Palisades fires, and all the loss and grief from that. The forest through the trees is like drowning in the unknown of why life is the way it is. And the Attention series is like being an artist in a world where all anyone cares to fucking do is hold a cell phone and stare at a fucking screen, you know? So like all of the different things like revolve around each other. Like they all tell the same story, just from like different aspects of it. So I love the idea of having all of them in the show. But the other thing was like I was like trying to think of all the pieces I would need to have framed if I included my works on paper. And I'm like, I can't afford to put this show together. Let me see. I'm quiet. Can you not hear me? Oh no. Do you have certain painting? Oh yeah, I saw that. He is very quiet now. Oh wait, is Chris very quiet because you came running at him with a knife, you weirdo? You are a highly unique individual, my friend. The world needs us right now. Congratulations, well deserved. Thank you. And you should go check out Keith's art. He does amazing, beautiful collage stuff and paintings and stuff. Just want to say thank you for the chat. It's been a rough week mentally, and these chatty streams help us watchers more than you know. It helps me too, and I'm glad it's helpful. Like, seriously. You are a highly unique individual, my friend. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see that thing again. Those go great together. AI will not replace us. I love the black sand ones. Make sure you hear of the story behind them. Well, the thing that's actually really cool is that they want me to give a presentation on the show. I don't know when, if that's going to be at the gala, which we never figured out, guys, by the way. But there is I'm doing a presentation for the docents as well, and then maybe a workshop for people. Okay, guys. I'm going to wrap this up then as well. This has been a long one. That's what she said. So for members, I will see you Monday and tomorrow, and we'll talk about kind of what's what. But this stream gave me a lot of ideas for videos. Are you going to wear a scarf? That might be the only thing I wear, and I won't be wearing it around my neck, if you know what I mean. Jokes. So, yeah. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow on the live stream for members, okay? I would love to be at that opening. Is it cool if I crash on your couch? Dude, totally! Hit me up. Oh my God, that would be so cool if you came out. The gala is January 17th. So let me know if you want to come to that. Okay, hit me up. Yeah, thank you for the mentorship. Congrats. Yeah, I'll do a video on that more next week probably. So I'll talk to you guys later. Exciting. 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 Come on. Do the wave, guy, so I could end the stream. Do the wave. I don't know how long this goes. There we go.